Heyo everyone, it is Loki Monster here, and today I'll be taking you through the brand new Frostval Questline, Frostval Tasty Treats. Now do note you will have to have completed all the other Frostline quests beforehand or you will not see this quest. So at the very top you'll see Tasty Frostval Treats. Now if you don't see that, make sure you go to both Frostvale Town and Wintergrass and make sure you completed all the quests there. So Blitzy tells you he's been making his famous Eggmog and he wants you to meet him in Frostvale to try the first sample. So we're just going to click on that quest and then we're going to click on the crystal travel to Frostvale. And once you get here you want to head to Blitzy in town. Now you can just follow your travel arrow in the upper right hand corner and it will take you there. So Blitzy says perfect timing. As you know, my famous eggnog is my favorite holiday treat and he's going to make the best batch ever. Now what do you say? Can we help him finish it? So we've talked to him, so we just turn that in. And Blitzy tells us that he's looking for one last final ingredient. He wants a few ripe glowberries. So we're going to need 4 of these ripe glowberries. So for the glowberries, you just want to head out into the Frostvale area and kill the magical bushes for the berries. But the berries may or may not be ripe, so you may have to kill a lot more than 4. Once you have all 4 of the berries, you can return to Blitzy. He says, oh, you've got them. They're just perfect, what they needed. And what does his official taste tester think? Wow, this is the best eggnog I ever had. I actually hate eggnog. So anyways, Blitzy wants us to take samples around to everybody in Frostvale. So basically you just again have to follow your arrow to everyone in the town. So we'll start off going to Aspen up here. And then after Aspen, you don't actually have to do them in order, but after Aspen, you're going to go see Chile. Now, Chile also hates Eggmog. So this makes Chile very important to this quest line. You'll find out later. And then we just want to run around and see all the other Moglins as well. I had serious problems making this video, and it wasn't like the quest, it was actually my equipment, and I lost a lot of the footage, and I had to use my Hollow Knight for half of it, and even then, I still lost a piece of footage. But I will fill you in when I get to that point. So we've returned to Blitzy, and he asks how everyone liked it. Everyone liked it except for Chile. And he says no, he'd rather have had gingerbread. And Blitzy says he doesn't even like gingerbread, but he thinks it's great and that's all that matters. Alright, up until, oh no, Blitzy doesn't feel so good. And he thinks he's turning into oh no, he turned into a Moglinster. In fact, they've all turned into Moglinsters, except for, if we go over here, we're going to talk to Chile, who hasn't. Oh no, Chile can't believe it's happening. All his friends have turned into monsters. And it happened right after they drank that eggnog. It has to be what's causing it, right guys? Well, I told you. Chili eggnog was gross. I agree. This looks like it's up to us to fix it. But why am I not a monster? Well, Chili doesn't know, but we're going to figure it out. So we're just going to hand that in. And now our next quest is to find 10 eggmog samples. So we got to go and gather up all the eggmog so nobody else drinks it. So the eggmog is just these little cups you see floating around here. You just have to click on them, and once you have 10 of them, you can return to Chile and hand that in. And now our next quest is to scare 8 of the Moglinsters because they're getting a little vicious. So we're going to try to scare them and make them go away. So we just want to attack 8 of them, and then once you have Scared off 8 of them, return to Chile, and he says maybe we need some outside help. Well, outside help from her? From an alchemist who lives up in the mountains named Pinion. He knows a lot about moglins and potions. So it seems like the glowberries have caused some chemical reaction to happen. Now, I'm not showing you all the cutscenes. I especially left out the humor so I don't ruin that for you. So once you hand that in, you will get a quest to find Blitzy's recipe, because we're going to need that to figure out what went wrong. Now, this quest actually has a reward for it, the Glacier Enchanter dress or coat. You have to choose between them. Now for this you have to go kill Moglinsters until you find the recipe. Now I did this on my alt. It only took one. I did it with this account and it took me 4 kills. So RNG was not with me. Now with this one, don't worry which one you pick, because if you actually want the other one too, you're going to be able to craft it later, but there will be some items in here that you cannot replace, and I will point them out. So our next quest is to travel to the mountain pass and slay 10 monsters as well. So first I'm going to show you the Glacier Enchanter dress that I picked, and this dress is awesome. Unfortunately, you can't really see the back with this. So now we're going to travel to Winter's Grasp, and once you're there, we're going to head to a new area. So you want to go over to the right. Again, follow your travel arrow. You can see the light ahead of you. You want this cave right here, and this will take you to the new mountain pass. Now this is where I switched my character, and as you can see, this is the coat version of it. So we're going to kill 10 monsters here in this new area, and this area is really pretty with this house up on the mountain. So once we have that, oh yes, and pick up your pine cones and any spiced ginger that happens to drop. You'll need this to craft the rest of the set or some of the variants for the sets if you want them. So once we get up to the top of this hill here, we're going to talk to Chile, and then just turn that in, and now we're going to go inside and talk to Pinion. So we just go in the cabin here, and Pinion is right over here. He does wander around a bit, so excuse me, Pinion, sorry to bother you. Oh, he can't even see us. He doesn't have his glasses. He can't hear us either, apparently. So we're going to have to find his glasses and his hearing aids first, which is our next quest. Now for this, you just have to wander around and you're looking for the sparkles. Now one's here at the table and the other is this cabinet over here, and once you have those, you can return to Pinion and hand that in, which will trigger another cutscene which you explain why you're there and that your friend has maybe accidentally created some kind of monster potion. Now Pinion's sure he can figure it out, but he needs a few things to do so, and the first thing he needs is a cup of hot coffee. So this one is going to be just like the last one. We're going to come over to the table and click on that and grab his coffee mug. And then we're going to go over to the fire and we're going to put the coffee on the fire to heat it up. And once you've done that, return to Pinion again and give him his coffee. Now he's getting distracted by the noise of the monsters outside, and this is another reward one, and you have your choice of shoes, flats, or slippers. Now I'm going to tell you the flats look more feminine than the slippers, just so you're aware. And again, this is one of the items that you can craft the opposite one if you want to. So we're going to go out and we're going to just kill 10 monsters out here. Now, not every monster counts again, but once you have them all, we're going to return to Pinion and just talk to him. Like I said, he wanders around. He's by the window now. So he says the concoction is mostly harmless, but yeah, it was the glowberries. Mixing them with buttermilk does bad things, especially for moglins. And apparently he wrote a book all about moglins, and all of our answers we need are in that book. So again, we have to choose our reward here, and then our next quest is to talk to Chile. Now, to talk to Chile, we're going to leave Pinions, and then we're just going to turn around and talk to Chile right here. And then we're going to turn that in, and he'll give us another quest, but it doesn't say that he gave us a quest. It's just up in the top corner. You can bring it down. You're going to have to kill 12 monsters in this path before you move on. Now, this is the point where something went seriously wrong with my device, and I lost this, but you're going to have to actually go through Winter's Grasp to talk to Chile in Frostvale, and then he's going to send you back to Winter's Grasp, where I am now, to get to collect 10 big pig tusks. So you can either kill the frost grizzly boars, or you can kill the holiday ham. Now again, this is RNG. It may take much more than 10 to get everything. So now we can actually travel using the travel menu, and you'll find that Frostvale Night is now on the travel menu. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I just tell you to travel back there from Pinions in the first place after we killed the monsters? It's because you were actually required to go to Winter Grasp at night, so you can actually know that it does change night there as well. So we're just going to hand that in, and this time we need some crushed ice, and they come from snow monsters and ice revenants. And this time, again, we can get them here in Frostvale Night. So we're just going to travel down here where all the mobs are, and I try to give that tree a wide berth because it aggroes really easy, and as you can see, it's attacked me, and I never find time to play this ID anymore, so it's just got dropped gear that I picked up just to do this. So we're going to hand that in, and the next thing we need is frozen tree bark, and the best place for that is from Oakenstock in Pinion Pass. And for this one, you'll receive the Glacier Enchanted Cape. We're going to head back to Pinion Pass. Now, I'm just going to jump past Winter's Grasp because you guys already have got that part down. And once you're back in Pinion Pass, you want to head over to the right, and as you can see up ahead, there's a group of people farming this location. Now, they're not farming for rare drops. This is just a really easy way to make pine cones and spice bark. So what they're doing is they're farming materials for the remaining pieces of this set that is crafted afterwards. And the respawn time on this is 30 seconds. So once he does, it's 30 seconds to respawn. Now that I have them all, we're going to bring up our travel menu, and then we're going to head right to Frostvale again at night to hand in that quest with Chile. But this time we're going to get another cutscene. So we've got the last ingredient we need to make the antidote, but there's a problem. The monsters are sugar crashing hard, and tiny fluff puffs are popping off their backs like gremlins or something. We have to do something before they all turn into moglins. And so now we're going to get the cape. Now the important part of the cape is you can't replace this cape, okay? Just remember that. So do not delete it. If you want to keep this cape, you cannot craft it and get it back again. This is a one chance only item. So this time we're going to have to farm 12 of these fluff puffs, and it is only 12. There's no RNG here this time. Now, I'm just going to take a second to explain this in case you don't know. Gremlins is a movie. There's actually 3 Gremlin movies. The original Gremlin movie will be 40 years old this summer. And the whole idea of the Moglins turning into Moglinsters, these like gremlin creatures, is based on that movie. And if you haven't seen it, you really should look it up. So once we have 12, we go back to Blitzy and we get another cutscene. And now we have to find a way to make them take it. So Chile suggests hiding it in some gingerbread. So we're just going to turn that in, and now we need 10 gingerbread, and the gingerbread you'll find has now appeared on the ground, these little gingerbread men. You just have to pick them up and pick up 10, and once we have 10, we'll just hand that in to Chile again. Now we're going to have to make them take their medication, whether they like it or not. So we're just going to go and basically take out 10 of these Moglinsters. And once we have all 10 of them medicated, we're going to return to Chile, and now we're done. Oh wait, no. We haven't given Blitzy anything, so we're going to have to go and find Blitzy, and he is way down at the very end of the map. So once you get down near this end, you'll see a glowing light. Go to the glowing light. Don't go to Blitzy. I made the same mistake twice. That light triggers a cutscene. And if you get too close to him, he's going to attack you while the cutscene's going on, and you're going to come out like almost dead, as you see here. And I knew that was going to happen, so I burned through it super fast. And yeah, I just there was no way I was going to be able to do this fight half dead like this with weak gear and solo. Now, I had absolutely no problem with my main character with its best in slots. It was fine, but this one I had to go back. Now, if you're solo, you're going to have to return and re-kill them, but if somebody else actually attacked him, then and he didn't reset, then you're okay, and you could have just gone straight to Chile for this cutscene. So after the cutscene, we turn in the quest, and you'll see it says travel to Blitzy, meet up with Blitzy. Click on that. Now, if you don't, it's going to try to send you to one of the dungeons because it wants you to go to Frostvale daytime, and it thinks that's where they are, where the dungeons are. And you'll get this final cutscene and your last reward, which is the staff. Now, this is also an item that is not replaceable. You will also get a title, so we'll just scroll down here in the character page, and it's right here, gift gremlin. So let's also check out that staff because it is really wicked, and like I said, this is not recraftable. If you ever delete this, you cannot get this staff again. Is that not so cool? And now the last thing we have to do, and yes guys, it is the end. And I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. So the crafting shop is here with Chile, and we have the enhancer hood. So you're going to need the pine cones and the spicy ginger to craft all of these. So we have these shoulders here as well. And we also have the opera gloves. And they really don't show on here well, but they go up like big icy streaks up the arm. They're really actually cool. Then we have the two different type of shoes, the slippers and the flats. And I'm going to skip over the coat because I've been wearing it the whole time. And this is the dress, which is really pretty. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.